Hello, my name's Helen Greenhill. I'm matron for the Neonatal unit and transitional care. It is a very challenging time for everybody at the moment, especially for those parents that don't expect to have their baby admitted to the neonatal unit. Parents are able to be with their baby one parent at a time per visit. They can spend as much time as they want to when they're visiting from home with their baby, and we encourage that. We want them to have skin to skin with their baby for as long as they can. We have gorgeous reclining chairs that they can relax with their baby skin to skin and have that bonding experience still, and that is so important. Unfortunately, siblings aren't allowed to visit at the moment, but we have lots of ways where we can communicate with families outside of that. We've got VCreate is a scheme at the moment that we've been using since Christmas, where we can video the babies in absence of families and send those lovely films of their babies, and they can be shared with the wider family. The films really help introduce this new baby to the family like you would do normally. We can send photos and films every day to celebrate this new arrival. Although visiting is going to be slightly limited, as I say, you can visit for as long as you like, and the staff on the neonatal unit will help and support you with this and help you to get as much out of your time with your baby each day. And we want to make this journey as stress-free as possible. If you have any questions, you can always speak to the nurse looking after you and your baby. You can speak to the nurse in charge, or you can come speak to me, Helen Greenhill.
Hello, my name's Helen Shanahan. I'm infant feeding coordinator at Royal Cornwall Hospitals Trust. And during this time of COVID-19, we know that people are a bit more anxious about being able to feed and care for their babies and build their relationship. Because it is a worrying time, you may not have been able to go to antenatal classes to learn as much as you would like to about feeding and caring for your baby. You may have somewhat reduced support from your community midwifery teams. And you may not have the ability to see your family and friends or to attend local groups as you would normally do. So we understand that, and that's why the feeding team has been set up with as much support as we possibly can, and we will support you to the very best of our ability. We'd like to encourage you during this time to spend as much time with your baby as possible. Do skin to skin, both you and your partner, and think about building your relationship and feeding and loving and comforting your baby. You can't do too much touching, stroking, talking, singing. You can't over love your baby, and you can't over breastfeed your baby. Please spend this time really getting to know your baby and what your baby's really wanting, because that will set the basis for the whole of your relationship with your baby's life forever. It's really important right now. We understand that we don't want people to come into the hospital unless it's absolutely essential, and most people don't want to do that either. So we've set up a whole online support with the email address that you can see, and we can contact, any parent can contact us on this email address, and then we can get back to you by email, by phone, with Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp or anything you like. All we need is your name, the baby's name, and the baby's date of birth, and then we can liaise with your community team. We also have health visitors working with us, so they will be able to join in with this and support you as well if that's appropriate. We are here at Trelisk as well to be able to see you face to face for a small number of people. We are trying to keep that to a minimum, but if, for example, your baby needed a tongue tie assessment and that can't be done in the community, or if you had a particularly unusual need for feeding support, or you're really worried about the baby's weight loss, we will also see you face to face. We would have to ask you the COVID-19 screening questions, and if we do see you here, we'll see you with a mask and apron and a pair of gloves. But we will then spend time with you watching your baby feeding and supporting you as best we can.
Hello there, my name's Janie Ashton, and I am one of the infant feeding coordinators at the Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust, and I'm speaking to you today just to reassure you that we still are here for you very much to help support you with the early days and weeks when you're learning to feed your baby. Some of us are working from home now, supporting you in whichever platform that you kind of feel you need at this time. We're here for you, and you can ask us questions, whether that's about how much you should feed your baby or how often you should feed your baby, or how to sterilise equipment, it doesn't matter. Anything relating to feeding that you want to ask, you can email us. We're minding this inbox from very early hours of the morning till late at night. And when you contact us, we'll either email back. If you'd like us to call, we'll call you back. And if you wanted to arrange a face-to-face visual interaction where we can look at maybe latching your baby or see you and your baby feeding, then we can do that on whatever platform suits you. So that could be WhatsApp, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, whatever's going to work for you is absolutely fine with us. We're working closely with organisations such as La Leche League and the Breastfeeding Network, our local health visitor service and our local peer supporters to make sure that if we can't answer the question or support you in the way you need, we can hand over to someone else that can. So get in touch, we really are here for you.
Hi, my name's Louise Allen and I'm a midwife at Royal Cornwall Hospital. I work on Will Fortune ward, the postnatal ward, where I care for mums, babies and their families. I'd like to talk to you about safe sleeping for when you come to go home for your little one. So the Lullaby Trust is the website we recommend to use for up-to-date and accurate advice for safety of your baby when sleeping. We would always recommend that your baby goes home to a cot or a safe Moses basket. Always put your baby on their back to sleep in the cot. Ensure their feet are at the foot at the bottom of the cot so they can't wriggle underneath the blankets at all. We would recommend thin cellular blankets or the little grow bags that you can get for little ones with appropriate weight. We don't recommend any cuddly toys that are loose in the cot, any cot bumpers because they are overheating hazard. We don't recommend that little ones' cots are put next to red hot radiators or open drafty windows as well. The Lullaby Trust also offers some really good advice as well for swaddling baby. Try to ensure that the blanket's not too thick, that the baby's not wrapped too tightly when you swaddle them, and that the blanket doesn't rise above their shoulders when they're swaddled as well. Although not all babies like to be swaddled, it's personal preference. The Lullaby Trust also offers some really good advice for families that smoke within the household as well. These are really difficult times and we're here to reassure you. Obviously there's other ways that you can communicate with little one being in hospital with you to partners and families and grandparents that are excited to meet their little ones, by sending pictures, telephone calls. Some people Skype. There's quite a lot of social media now where you can Skype phone calls and interact and engage with your loved ones that way as well. And this is all other possibilities that are at home as well, so they're not missing out on these key early hours of when you've had your little one. We wish you all the best. Take care. Bye.